it's Betsy Marshall, and this is part 2 of managing challenging behaviors. Last time when we talked, we were thinking about all of the behaviors that we're working on at home with our kids. And it might be, again, a long list, or it might be one or two things. It might be following directions and listening to you, or reducing the amount of temper tantrums at your house, or going to bed without a lot of fuss. But you are going to be thinking about what are those things that you want to work on with your kids. And my job is to help you with that. So let's review for a minute about the difference between discipline and punishment, because I think that's really important that you understand that there is a big difference. Discipline means to teach and to guide. Punishment means to suffer for an offense. So a lot of times what we do is punish, punish, punish. Oh, you're going to sit in timeout. Oh, I'm going to take something away from you. Oh, this is going to happen if you do that. Instead of stepping back and teaching your child what to do. So I'm going to just hit on that for a minute. And then we're going to talk more about expectations. So understanding why your child is behaving the way they are. Last time I mentioned my oldest son, Robert, when I said to him, go clean your room, off he would go to clean his room. No questions asked. Firstborn, pleaser. Ask him to do something, he does it. Secondborn, Molly, when I said, go clean your room, it was met with, I can't do that, Mommy, don't ask me to do that. A lot of drama. Or she would just ignore me. It was one of two things. Met with hysteria or pretend like she didn't hear me. So why? Why? Well, she's a different person. Maybe similar genes, but different person. Or I gave her a task that was overwhelming to her. Truth be told, if I said to my daughter, clean up this mess, she would look at the mess and be overwhelmed by it, because she would have had all of her dollies out and all their clothes was everywhere and the whole floor was littered with Barbies and shoes and clothes and little doll furniture. And I would say, okay, Molly, time to clean up, we're going to have dinner. She would look around and say, I can't do that. So take a step back and think about, oh my gosh, when I ask my child to do something, this is what they do. And then think, why? Why are they behaving that way? We need to try our best to understand a behavior before we can change it, okay? If I say to my kids when they get off the bus, come on and get your homework done, that might be met with a lot of resistance. They need time to expel some energy, to run around outside. Or maybe they're hungry. They haven't had anything to eat since lunch, which was maybe at 10 a.m. And so asking them to sit and do their work wasn't going to work, because another need of eating or exercising needed to be met first. So the next thing we need to do, now the first one was think about these behaviors. What are the behaviors that you want to change? And the second thing we need to do is try and understand those behaviors. If you say to your child, time for bed, and all of a sudden, they are running around or crying or running away from you, why? Why do you think that is? Our best time to think about the whys and understanding the behaviors are not in the middle of the drama and the temper tantrum. When you're thinking about why is my child behaving this way that might be so unacceptable, do not think about that during that time. It's not the time to be thinking about this, because they're behaving like a little crazy person and you are pulling your hair out. Not your best thinking time. My best thinking time might be when I'm alone in a shower, or just settle down to bed, or I have a chance to go for a walk. And then I want you to reflect on that time and say, every day at 4 o'clock, my kid has a meltdown. Every time I ask my child to sit down and do their homework, they are not kind to me, or they are defiant, or they ignore me. So I want you to think, oh, I wonder why that is. Why? Why are they behaving that way? And try and put yourself in their shoes. Are they overwhelmed by the task? Are they afraid of something? Are they trying to manipulate you for another reason and get something else from you, like your time or your attention, that maybe they didn't get at another time? So we're going to try and understand a behavior. That's the next thing you're going to do. And I know it feels like, come on, Betsy, tell me what to do and fix the problem. But fixing the problem means thinking about what is the problem and why is it happening. So before I get too much further, if you've got a laundry list of behaviors, now I want you to narrow it down to the top one or two. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, there's so much wrong. There's so many problems. That's too overwhelming, just like it would be for a child. For you, it's overwhelming. I want you to pick one thing. I'm going to have my child stop hitting, stop biting, stop spitting, stop kicking. The physical thing. I'm going to work on a behavior with my 3 or 4-year-old. He or she is constantly hitting friends, hitting siblings, hitting me. That's the one behavior I want to work on right now. Everything else, and there's other things we know there are, I'm going to put those aside and we're going to focus on this one thing, a goal. Okay? Why is my child doing that? And I have some real specific reasons why your child might be doing that. I want you to think about what are those reasons. And the next time we come back, I'm going to give you why I think your child is doing that, and you can relate it to other behaviors that your child might be exhibiting and come up with those answers too. So tune in for part 3. We're going to be talking about understanding behaviors so that we can change them. Thanks for joining me.